Bonjour, welcome all of you, Bande Matram. So, this morning we are going to have a brief discussion in the process of our Savitri summarization session. Love in me knows the truth. This is a great word from the mother. We are going to quote the mother's voice here. That will be the caption of our discussion. Love in me knows the truth. So this in this through this discussion we are going to cover up the topic that is Book 9 Canto 2, that is the journey in eternal night and the voice of the darkness. So that is the topic of discussion in this session of Savitri summarization, Book 9 Canto 2, the journey in eternal night and the voice of darkness. That is the point, that is the canto we are going to have a glimpse within our brief discussion here. Anyway, so the great word to be discussed right now will come to the latter part of discussion. Love in me knows the truth, all changing mask. When I have loved forever, I shall know. Love in me knows the truth, all changing mask. So now we'll come to that point. Right now we'll go for the summarization session. The journey in eternal night and the voice of the darkness. So Sri Aurobindo starts the line with while on the chill, dreadful edge of night, all stood as if a world were doomed to die. Just that awful description you can find later through the voice of the darkness. Already that voice of the darkness will find little later will come across with the everything will ring up the ear. That terrible voice will see here. All stood as if a world were doomed to die and waited on the eternal silence brink. Heaven leaned towards them like a cloudy brow. Just imagine how that precarious situation will be. Anyway, we'll go a little forward. The lifeless evening was a dead man's gaze. Just imagine if somebody is there among us, how the feeling will be. The lifeless evening was a dead man's gaze, hungry beyond the night desired her soul. Hungry beyond the night desired her soul, but still in its lone niche of templed strength, motionless, her flame bright spirit, mute, erect. Then we can go a little bit further, we'll see the description here in the quotes here. Sri Aurobindo, the future ended drowned in nothingness. The future ended drowned in nothingness. Nothing can be seen, nothing can be experienced, nothing can be fulfilled. The future ended drowned in nothingness amid collapsing shapes they would obscure. They would obscure the fading vestibules of a tenebrous world. The fading vestibules of a tenebrous world received them where they seemed to move, and yet be still, nowhere advancing yet to pass. So we'll go little bit forward. Sri Aurobindo quotes here, mind could not think, breath could not breathe, the soul could not remember or feel itself. It seemed a hollow gulp of sterile emptiness. So we can go. Love and knowledge and heart's delight there fell, and the immense refusal of the eternal no. Immense refusal of the eternal no. So immense refusal of the eternal no means no is capital N. Just imagine how that dreadful voice will be. So there was no course, no path, no end or goal. As disappears a golden lamp in gloom, born to distance from the eye's desire, into the shadows vanished Savitri. Into the shadows vanished Savitri. There was no course, no path, no end or goal. Visionless she moved amid insensible gulfs. Just imagine how that scenario, that sensation, how that scene will be. She saw no more the vague, tremendous God. There was none with her in the dreadful past, while passing the realms. That just find the darkness, the description of darkness, and of course the reality. Her eyes had lost their luminous Satyavan just once, on being single, it has been disappeared into the not finding nothing. So when on earth they lived, she had felt him straying through the glades. The glades, a scene in her, so you can go and see. She traveled treading on the curves of life. She traveled treading on the curves of life, lost in a blindness of extinguished souls. Lost in a blindness of extinguished souls. Solitary in the anguish of the void, she lived in spite of death, she conquered still. So her heavy, long monotony of pain tardily appears, fears self-touches lived. So at first, a faint, inextinguishable gleam, pale but immortal, flickered in the gloom, as if a memory came to the spirits dead. So we can go a little bit. She strove to stifle the frail, dangerous ray. She strove. Her empire of the everlasting night threatened him with this faint beam of wandering truth. She reared her giant head in nothingness, her mouth of darkness swallowing all that is. She saw in herself the tenebrous absolute. She saw in herself the tenebrous absolute. Her limbs refused. Then there is a change. There is a transformation in her. Of course, she is not getting worried after this threatened scene. She is trying to boldly facing the situation. And Savitri to her lost self awoke. Lost self awoke, and her limbs refused the cold embrace of death. Her heartbeats triumphed in the grasp of pain. That victorious image, now victorious position, awakening is there in Savitri. Her soul persisted, claiming for its joy. The soul of the beloved now seen no more. Already we have seen, we have discussed. Nothing is seen, that blank void. So, death mission to the night is a lethal call. That voice first we can hear, then just imagine how it will be. This is my silent dark immensity. This is the home of everlasting night. This is the secrecy of nothingness, entombing the vanity of life's desires. So we can go and a little bit we can feel how precarious is that. In this stark sincerity of nude emptiness, hopest thou still always to last and love? That lethal voice will come and hear how Savitri is reacting. Because still now Savitri is silent. No, even not even today only. During this part of the discussion, we'll little bit we'll see here. Behold, voice of Savitri and the dread voice. Let us how far we have come. Let us have a brief summarization. So it is we are in Book 9, Canto 2, the journey in the eternal night and the voice of darkness. All pause for a while. All pause for a while on the edge of the dark night. Everything pauses for a little. Then Savitri steps forward a journey through that eternal night. Little bit steps forward. A mysterious terror closes on her from all sides. She is surrounded by the mysterious darkness, terror. Then Savitri vanishes into the dark. Already we have discussed a little bit. There is no path, no goal. Yet she moves on. She loses sight of the god of death as well as Satyavan. Nothing is visible. She is among the terror, besieged. But she does not lose heart. She continues to live and move. That is her greatness. She knows because she is well prepared for the last combat. Slowly a faint gleam appears. It throws the night into a bolder relief. The giant head of nothingness tried to stifle the ray, but all in vain. The night prevails and Savitri recovers her lost self. In spite of this prevailing of the great night, she is actually recovering herself, her lost self. Once again she hears the steps of the god, and out of the darkness Satyavan shows as a luminous head. You can find, recover. Then is heard the lethal voice of the darkness, proclaim dark of the death, lethal voice of death. proclaiming in this dark night. This nothingness is the end and the source of all. That is the lethal voice of the death. Dark night in this you can listen voice of night in this dark night. This nothingness is the end and the source of all. Where in this dark emptiness is there the place for life and love? No place for life and love in this great emptiness. The voice asks mockingly. Savitri refuses to answer. She gazes into her soul and knows that she is eternal because she is well aware. Even though we have got that spark of the soul is there inside, we are little bit conscious still, then we are not that much prepared, we are not that much awakened. Then death, the dire god, opposes her with his endless night and calls. Once again, the voice of the lethal voice of the dire god, we can death we can listen. Thou hast survived the void and won a victory, initial victory thou hast won, survived the void. But to what purpose? Thou canst only live for a little while without Satyavan. Man is a fragile creature with death prowling around him in all directions. Man's life is fragile. Death has besieged him from all corners. The gods have burdened him with a mind and sown in the heart the incurable unrest. So the problem of man is with his mind, and second, in his heart is the incurable unrest. He is the cattle of the shepherd gods. If thou still hopes to live, to love, return to the earth. You know the situation. You know me. You know my power. You know the current position, status of the human being. If you still hopes to live, to love, return to the earth, but don't hope to win back Satyavan, still the unique strength deserves a reward. Choose what thou wilt, and I shall give. So this is offering a boon now, right now. If because you have won the initial battle, if something you want, I am ready to give you. So that original voice will try to listen. Very interesting description. Although thou hast survived, tremendous voice we can see again. Although thou hast survived the unborn void, which shall never forgive while time endures. Then after some time we can he about the man. He magnifies himself and names it God. He calls the heaven to help his suffering hopes. He sees above with a longing heart, but bare spaces more unconscious than himself that have not even his privilege of mind. Then we can go little bit. The gods who watch with the earth with sleepless eyes. The gods actually really man prays, aspires, calls. They watch the earth with sleepless eyes and guide its giant stumblings through the void. Have given to man the burden of his mind. That is the problem. It is given by the burden of his mind, whom man finds it is the finest gift. That is actually the burden actually. So his mind is a hunter upon the tracks unknown. He deepens with a thought the mystery of his fate and turns to song his laughter and his tears. His mortality, vexing with the immortals' dream. Just imagine, they have given a wisdom that is mocked by night. They have traced a journey that foresees no goal. Aimless man toils in an uncertain world. That is the precarious situation of this human being treading on this earth that has been mocked by Lord of Death. So hope not to win back for thee to thee, Satyavan, who yet since thy strength deserves no trivial crown. But thing is that some gift I can give, gifts I can give to soothe thy wounded life, the pacts which transient beings make with fate. So this can be done. I can give something. Choose a life's hopes for thy deceiving prize. I will give. Then Savitri, at last she spoke. Her voice was heard by night. That great voice tried to remember. I bow not to thee, O huge mask of death, black lie of night to the cowled soul of man. I bow not to thee, O huge mask of death, black lie of night to the cowed soul of man, unreal, inescapable end of things. Then unslain I have survived the claws of night. My fast strong grief moves not my seated mind. My unwept tears I have torn to spalls of strength. I have transformed my ill-saved brittle clay into the hardness of a statued soul. Then my spirit shall be obstinate and strong. We can go. Mine is the labor of the battling gods. So a little bit we can go move forward. Here in the courts. First, I demand whatever Satyavan, is my husband, waking in the forest charm desired out of his long pure childhood's lonely dreams. Satyavan, my husband, what he had desired, and had not for his beautiful life, give thou, if thou must, or if thou canst refuse. So that is what I refuse. I am not threatening, I am not trembling before your dreadful voice, because I know who I am. Then some gifts are sanctioned, given by the Lord of Death. Indulgent to the dreams my touch shall break, I yield to his blind father's longing heart kingdom. Blind father's longing heart I yield. Kingdom and power and friends and greatness lost, and royal trappings for his peaceful age. So go then back from the grandeur of my perilous realms, go mortal to thy small permitted sphere. Human being, whatever he may ask, whatever he may think, but the thing reality is that go mortal to thy small permitted sphere. Then Savitri brings a bright reply, stern reply to the answer to the disdainful said, World spirit, I was the equal spirit born. Why are you giving me, trying to confuse me? You don't know who I am. World spirit, I was the equal spirit born. And my will too is a law, my strength a God. I am immortal in my mortality. I am immortal in my mortality. I tremble not before the immobile gaze. My soul can meet them with its living fire. Then for I, who have trod with him the tracks of time, can meet behind his steps whatever night or unbridgeable stupendous dawn breaks on our spirits in the untrod beyond. Wherever thou leadst his soul, I shall pursue. So then the death is replying in a very difficult, almighty cry of universal truth. We can listen. Hast thou God wings or feet that tread my stars, frail creature with the courage that aspires? You are the frail creature and aspiring with the courage. I, death, created them out of my void. All things I have built in them and I destroy. I made walls my net, enjoy each joy a mess. Then mortal, whose spirit is my wandering breath, whose transience was imagined by my smile. Then just imagine who really I am. So I will take from thee the black eternal grief, clasping in thy heart thy fate's exiguous dole. So then once again Savitri is replying, who is this God thou imagined by this night? Whatever you are speaking, that there is very little feeble truth or no truth at all. Who made for vanity the brilliant stars, questioning? Not he who has reared his temple in my thoughts. My God is the will and triumphs in his path. What is not your imagination, but my God, whom I am adoring, and I am speaking of his God like this. My God is will and triumphs in his path. My God is love and sweetly suffers all. To him I have offered the hope for sacrifice and gave my longings as a sacrament. Then we can go a little bit forward. He labors in the depths, exalts on the heights, and he shall remake the universe, O death. And about love, love's golden wings have power to fan thy void. Love's golden wings have power to fan thy void. The eyes of love gaze starlike through death's night. So, very before let us first summarize, then we'll go a little bit ahead. So, thou hast already we have seen that reward I will give. I bow not to thee, O master of death. Thou art a black lie of night, a grim jest upon the immortal spirit. I am conscious of my immortality, of my force. I am very much conscious. I am aware. I am no suppliant to thy at thy gates. Mine is the labor of the battling gods. If thou must give, I demand all that Satyavan had desired in his childhood. If thou wilt, you can give. Then this scornfully death grants back Satyavan's father his royal trappings, his eyesight that he had lost, and then warns Savitri to hasten back to the earth, lest the laws she has violated upon her in wrath. Then Savitri answers, I am immortal. I fear not the eyes of law and fate. Give me back Satyavan so that with him I may follow the earth's path that leads to God. Otherwise I shall pursue whatever may befall on the way. Death is unmoved. He cries out scornfully. Dost thou forget that thou art a mere mortal? I, death, have created all and I destroy all. I reward, I punish, flee back lest the furies strike thee. Then Savitri replies once again with equal scorn. My God is not the God of the imagination. My God is love that sweetly suffers all. To him I am, to him who is irresistible, I have offered my life. He is supreme, not your imagination. How you are imagining and speaking a black lie. So he shall remake the universe or death. For a while, they journey in silence in the trackless night. Then death answers, speaks again. Wilt thou claim immortality? Thou too art but a sparking ferment in life's sunlit mire. You will go, you will simply fly away. Only I am eternal, I am the past, I am He. He has, there is no other God. I have no other help than myself. Man has no other help than myself. I am his final refuge of thy soul. Even if there were a being witnessing all, soul and absolute, neither Satyavan nor Savitri exist beside him. Because you know I am everything, and the gods whom man prays can help not man, because they are my imaginations and my moods. There is no love there, no time, no nor space. Forget Satyavan, and be thou alone sufficient to thy soul, till I, death, shall rescue thee from life. So let us till now we'll try to have a summarization. Then we'll see. But very beautiful, brilliant description. I only am eternal and endure. I am the shapeless, formidable past. I am the emptiness men call space. I am the timeless, nothingless, carrying all. I am the illimitable, the mute alone. I, death, am He. There is no other God. Then I am the immobile in which all things move. I am the nude inane in which they cease. I have no body, no tongue to speak. I commune not with human eye and ear. Only thy thought, how I am existing here before you. Because only thy thought gave a figure to my void. Because, O aspirant to divinity, thou callest me to wrestle with thy soul, so I have assumed a face, a form, a voice. So later, then how Savitri really reacts here, you can go. There is the one lives forever. There is no Satyavan changing was born, and there no Savitri claims from brief life her bribe of joy. So later we can find, if thou desirest immortality, be then alone sufficient to thy soul. Live in thyself, forget the man thou lovest. That was a very tragic scenario, but a painful comments, lines we are listening right now. My last grand death shall rescue thee from life, then shalt thou rise into thy unmoved source. Then Savitri is replying in a very scornful manner, with equal scorn. O death, who reasonest, I reason not. Reason, the main point of reason, purpose of reason, that scans and breaks but can't build. Or builds in vain because she doubts our work. I am, I love, I see, I act, I will. Then death again. Know also, knowing thou shalt cease to love and cease to will, delivered from my heart. Then Savitri once again. Love in me knows the truth. All changings are masks. When I have loved forever, I shall know. Love in me knows the truth. That is the topic of discussion we have captioned as a discussing topic of discussion here. Love in me knows the truth, all changings mask. I know that knowledge is a first ignorance. I know that every being is myself. In every heart is hidden the myriad one. I know the calm transcendent beyond the world. The veiled inhabitant, the silent Lord. I feel his secret act, his intimate fire. Then we can go a little bit further. I hear the murmur of the cosmic voice. I know my coming was a way from God. Quoting, where I have really descended. My way, I know my coming was a way from God, and all his sons were conscient in my birth. All his sons were conscient in my birth, and the one who loves in us came veiled by death. One who loves in us came veiled by death. Then was man born among the monstrous stars, endowed with a mind and a heart to conquer thee. Let us try to summarize it, and then we'll go and know what is the appearance, how really appears the dreadful Lord, Lord of Death. We'll see. So we can see, I am immortal. I feel so already we have seen little bit we have gone and we have seen really that real scenario. I am immortal. This is Savitri's answer to the in this den. I am immortal. I fear not the eyes of law and the fate. Give me back Satyavan so that with him I may follow the earth's path that leads to God. With him I will follow the earth's path that leads to God. Otherwise I shall pursue whatever may befall on the way. Death is unmoved. Dost thou forget that you are only mere mortal? Already we have seen reward or punish I can do. Flee back to lest fury strike out thee. Then Savitri replies, my God is not the God of the imagination. My God is love and sweetly suffers all. To him who is irresistible, I have offered my life. He is the supreme. He shall remake the universe, O Lord Death. Then journey continues. Then the death speaks. Wilt thou claim immortality? Thou who art but a sparking ferment in life's sunlit mire. Only I am eternal, I am vast, I am He, there is no other God. Just we say, man has no other help than myself. I am the final refuge, even one refuge of thy soul. Even if there were a being witnessing all, soul and absolute, neither Satyavan nor Savitri existing beside him. There is no love there, no time nor space. Forget Satyavan, be thou alone and sufficient to thy soul till I death shall rescue them from life. And Savitri replies, O death, who reasonest, I don't reason, I am, I love, I act, I will. Death then answers, no also. When thou wilt know, thou shalt cease to love and accept the impermanence of things, because you know human love and all. That is how much impermanence you know. Savitri replies, only when I have loved forever I shall know. Love knows the unchanging truth behind all change. Everything is changing, but love in me knows the unchanging truth. I know the transcendent God above, the Lord of the universe, God the indweller. I know my coming was a way from God. I know that man was born with a mind and a heart to conquer thee. Because, Lord of Death was criticizing burden of the mind, thought, heart, and everything. So Steve Mother here clarifies, I know man was born with a mind and a heart. Purpose is not to be burdened but to conquer thee. Then does not no answer from death. Death does not answer again. Compelled by Savitri, three glide through the long fading night. So here, within a couple of lines, we'll know who really, how this death really seems. It how looks like that we can see. So here in the quotes here, nights half seen in clouds, not in reality. Half seen in clouds appeared a somber face. Night's dusk tiara was his matted hair. Night's dusk tiara was his matted hair. The ashes of the pyre were his forehead sign. Again, this is the description. Then, once more a wanderer in the unending light, blindly forbidden by dead vacant eyes. She travelled through the dumb, unhoping vast. Around her rolled the shuddering waste of gloom. Then we can find that beautiful concluding couple three lines. Through the long fading night by her compelled, gliding half seen on their own earthly path, gliding half seen on their own earthly path, phantasmal in the dimness moved the three. Anyway, it is a great description, great way, great thing to remember, and of course, it is a great description. We will try to stop here. Vande Mataram.